Well, good morning. Here it is. It's Wednesday already. We're already to the halfway point of another week. Today is Hump Day, and of course, today is June the 12th. And excuse me. I hope you had a great Tuesday. Hope that it was a fruitful day for you. Hopefully, you were able to get some things accomplished but anyway, now here it is. It's Wednesday morning, and certainly hope and pray this morning finds you feeling well, and hopefully you're well rested and ready to tackle the opportunities that God has blessed us with here on this Wednesday morning, this Hump Day. And this morning, I want to share a devotional with you entitled "The Heart and Focus." In our culture today, we talk a lot about the heart and doing what the heart wants. But we should not let our hearts tell us what to do, because our hearts can mislead us. In Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. It says, "The human heart is the most deceitful of all things and desperately wicked. Who really knows how bad it is?" And then Jesus told us in Matthew chapter 15:19, he said, "For from the heart come evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander." Yes, the heart, wants what it wants. But a lot of times the heart wants the wrong things. So therefore, we should not focus on our hearts, as much as we ought to focus our hearts on God. Jesus, he tells us, to use our hearts, as well as our minds, our souls, for the purpose that God created them. In Matthew chapter 22, we find an account, of the Pharisees trying to, trap Jesus, because they had endless debates, about which commandments were, greater or lesser. Now, Jesus, he had just dealt with the Sadducees, the religious leaders who didn't believe that there was life beyond the grave. The Sadducees, they approached Jesus with a hypothetical situation. They talked about a woman, who was married to a man who died. And so she married his brother, and then he died. She married another of his brothers, and he died as well. And on this went until she had married 7 brothers who all died. And then they asked Jesus in Matthew chapter 22, verse 28, "So tell us, whose wife will she be in the resurrection? For all 7 were married to her." And Jesus told them in verse 29, then he said, "Your mistake is that you don't know the scriptures and you don't know the power of God." Thus, he put them in their place, and answered their question. Now, next, the Pharisees, they felt it was their turn. And so they went to Jesus with this question in Matthew 22, verse 36. "Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses?" Now, the Pharisees had basically documented 613 commandments in the law, and they had identified 248 of those commandments as positive and 365 as negative. They knew that no one, could keep all the commandments. So therefore they had identified some commandments as, heavy, and other commandments as light. But breaking one commandment is enough to keep us out of heaven. Well, here's how Jesus answered the Pharisees, and this is in Matthew 22, verses 37 through 40. "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these 2 commandments." Basically, Jesus, he was saying, instead of worrying about all the commandments and which one is worse than the other, get back to this. Love God with all your being, and everything will be sorted out. Listen, if you love the Lord with all your heart, soul, and mind, then you naturally you'll want to do what he wants you to do. And that's what it boils down to is for us as believers in today's world we live in is we need to love the Lord with all our soul, our mind, and our being, everything that we have. And everything else will take care of itself. God will take care of that. And he'll get us through, whatever circumstances we go through. But anyway, I hope that encourages you here on this Wednesday morning, on this Hub Day. Hope you have a wonderful day. Remember, Angie and I, we love you guys, and we're praying for you. And Lord willing, I'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless you.